Students, in this lecture, we are going to discuss the beta adrenergic blockers in angina. Now, these beta blockers are very important in anginal patients. Why? Because these beta blockers will decrease the oxygen demand of the heart. Why? By blocking the beta receptors which are actually present on the heart. As a result, there will be decrease in the heart rate, heart contractility, there will be decrease in the cardiac output, there will be decrease in the blood flow as well. So in conclusion, you can say that the beta blockers will lessen the oxygen demand during the exertion or at rest as well. So you can use these beta blockers to increase the exercise duration. So these are the blockers which you can use in effort induced angina as well. So, beta blockers are usually recommended as an initial anti-anginal therapy, unless they are contraindicated. For example, if you are using the non-selective one, definitely they will are contraindicated in the asthmatic patients, in the patients who are suffering from the asthma. So, exception to this rule, exception to this use of beta blockers as an initial therapy is the vasospastic angina. This angina is also known as the Prinzmetal angina, variant angina, or the rest angina. As the name indicates, the Prinzmetal or the vasospastic angina, this is due to the spasm of the arteries. So why these are contraindicated in these type of angina? Why these beta blockers are contraindicated in Prinzmetal angina? This is because these beta blockers have ability to cause the more spasm. So why do beta blockers cause the more spasm? How you will justify this statement? Because you are using only the beta blockers, and you know that what neurotransmitters are acting on the blockers are, or these receptors. These are the epinephrine and the norepinephrine. Now you have unopposed alpha receptors. Your epinephrine and norepinephrine is free to work at these alpha receptors. When these will work on these alpha receptors after activation will cause the spasm. So that's why they are contraindicated in the Prinzmetal angina. So which is already because of the spasm of the arteries. So agents with IESA, that is agents with intrinsic sympathomimetic activity, for example the pindolol, should be avoided in patients with angina or with the history of MI. In the next slide, we will discuss that what is this ISA. Among these ISAs, the most prototype drug is the most prominent drug is the propranolol. That is not a cardioselective. It means this is a drug that can act on both type of the receptor, on different type of the beta receptors, beta 1, beta 2. So now what is ISA? What is intrinsic sympathomimetic activity? It means when I use this word for a particular drug, then it means this is a drug that contains a modest or the less degree of the agonist activity. You can say that this is indicating a drug, this is indicating a beta blocker that has the partial agonist activity itself. Now, non-selective beta blockers. Non-selective beta blockers should be avoided sometimes if it is written that if you know that this patient is suffering from that particular disease. For example, if your patient is suffering from asthma, you will avoid these non-selective beta blockers. You know that your non-selective drug will also act on the beta receptors on the lungs. So in that case, this will cause the more spasm. So this is contraindicated because in asthma patients, you need the dilators. So how to discontinue this drug? How to discontinue beta blockers? You can never discontinue the beta blockers abruptly, immediately. Why? Because this will then lead you towards the rebound angina, MI, myocardial infarction, or the hypertension. If you want to discontinue the drug, you have to taper off the dose. You have to reduce the dose over time, over the period of 2 to 3 weeks. So students, this was all about the use of beta blockers in angina.